Out in front, Cheminée Pougelat has chosen to make the most of the northwesterly winds, whilst Neutrogena has opted for an alternative route further south to tap into the westerlies.
Voilà, Bernard complètement trempé, il aime ça.
Ça réveille après un petit passage à la planète, là,
Ouais, ça fait du bien.
Ça fait du bien, ouais. L'option nord, nous on a suivi le front. On a passé dans un petit trou de souris, quoi. Et Neutrogena a décidé de descendre au sud. Voilà, ou est obligé, je sais pas, mais toujours est-il qu'il prend une option radicalement différente. Donc on verra.
On verra dans 4-5 jours.
C'est à la fin de la foire
qu'on les bouge.
Ouais.
D'accord.
Day 27 of the Barcelona World Race, and the fleet is spread across 2 oceans, leaders Cheminée Pougelat and Neutrogena having crossed into the Indian Ocean yesterday. Cheminée Pougelat currently in about 10 knots less wind, with Neutrogena some 120 miles to the west. This lead pair will be in the same system very shortly. Gaius Centros Auditivos expected to cross the Cape early this evening and currently in solid reaching conditions with 30 to 35 knots. Renault Capteur have now joined the leaders in the roaring 40s at good pressure they can expect to keep for the rest of the day. We Are Water in 6th, then One Planet One Ocean picking up some northwesterlies later today. Spirit of Hungary have another day or so in light winds, but then they too should pick up a system with northwesterlies speeding them down to the south. So the position reports for Monday, January 26th, show Cheminée Pougelat currently leading by just over 120 miles. Bernard Stam and Jean Le Cam were sailing in around 25 knot northwesterlies this morning and making around 14 knot boat speeds. Second place Neutrogena, however, had more in the region of 30 to 35 knots, and that seen them take about 30 miles out of Cheminée's lead overnight. Gaius Centros Auditivos hit the highest speed once again at 17.6 knots this morning, while Renault Capteur have had consistently the fastest pace and were just a few hundred yards shy of covering 400 miles in the past 24 hours. We Are Water in 5th, sailing at 10 to 12 knots boat speed, while One Planet One Ocean back up to over 7 knots this morning, but they've shed around 200 miles to the leaders overnight. Spirit of Hungary working hard to keep those averages in double figures in 7th place.
The condition against the center of high pressure, then we are on the front of low pressure, then it gives not too much wind, but enough wind to go fast, and after we have to jibe to have the south part of the high pressure and to keep the southeast part of the high pressure to keep the diagonal wind. For us, it's a good condition. It's a little bit virtual because we don't see the shore, we don't see the land, and but it's still a good moment when we are starting to cross the Indian Ocean, and it's always, how can I say, a special moment.
We caught up with Bernard Stam, our leader Cheminée Pougelat, earlier today. They've been in front of the fleet for over 10 days now since Hugo Boss dismasted, and Bernard and Jean Le Cam were obviously delighted to have passed the Cape of Good Hope in front. It's a landmark the pair have rounded many times, although never together, and this time they're around 400 miles offshore, not able to see the landmark, passing their 20-degree east mark at 9:35 yesterday morning. Currently they're in fairly benign conditions for the Southern Oceans, around 25 knots, and Bernard explained that there was a high pressure system ahead that they were watching closely to see how it evolved, but they looked set to have good westerly winds to take them as far as the Kerguelen Islands. Bernard also commented that they had actually been sailing conservatively since the start of the race, and in this Southern Ocean section the only time they would really move into attacking mode was when it was necessary to stay with a fast-moving weather system. He also reported that they had both been eating well, sleeping well and enjoying some rare Southern Ocean sunshine.
We're sailing quite low, close to the ice gate, and then when we were there, we were getting some good conditions and strongest wind. Then we found was the big low coming. This is the low we are now, and we try to come up to be in a better position with the low. We don't want to go too south from the low because then we were restricted in on the angles because we cannot jibe, and as well conditions and quite so there were worse and more wind and more waves. So we come up. When we come up, we see a light front area, and then we have to jibe back on starboard to go more south. And then when we found the wind, come back on port, and then we get cooked again by the light wind spot. So that's why the explication about these two jibes we did it a few days ago. It was not really good. I was not really comfortable sailing down there with this low pressure coming from behind. So it was a little bit of zigzag, and to be honest, I never found the groove of the boat sailing fast and in a good angle. That's why this day we were sailing a bit random. I like to go fast, but I want to have the control of the boat all the time. So we try to sail as quick as possible, but always with controlling the boat. Sometimes with these conditions, the boat starts surfing and nose diving in the big waves, and in a few minutes you don't have the control of the boat. I don't like that, so I try to go fast and don't have the boat fast only one time and then go slower. So we try to go in a conservative mode, trying to go fast, put the boat in the conditions where you have a steady speed, not too much acceleration. Otherwise, then you're looking for troubles and some damage on the gear. Because in the last Barcelona World Race, we have to pull out there with rather problems. So that's why I try to sail as far as possible from Cape Hope. So trying to don't remember the worst moments of the first Barcelona World Race when we have to pull out. So yeah, it remains me a little bit of. I actually was with the same boat, but with 7 years of separation, and the boat is really well prepared now compared with 7 years ago. Well, the thing is, the more important thing is to be on the same system as them. So we are now in the same system, in the same conditions. And I don't want to push the boat just to cut miles to him and get the risk of breaking things. So we will hang there, and we will find later on the opportunity to push the boat and getting closer. But it's not my obsession now. My obsession now is to get the boat fast and with no problems. Later on, we will worry about Gemini.
We also spoke to Guillermo Altadil on Neutrogena in second. Guillermo and Jose Munoz crossed the 20° east longitude mark at 21:10 last night, having had a less than straightforward approach to the Cape of Good Hope. Guillermo explained that they'd taken a bit of a zigzag route, jibing south for stronger pressure, but then not wanting to limit their options or get caught up in any potentially boat-breaking conditions, and jibing back. It certainly sounds as if they've had a tough couple of days, Guillermo commenting that they'd never really got the boat into the groove, but he reported that Neutrogena was going well now with no problems on board. They were in stronger west-northwesterlies today than Cheminée Pujola, about 35 knots, and going a couple of knots faster boat speed-wise. That's seen them take about 30 miles out of Cheminée Pujola's advantage overnight. Neutrogena is almost directly to the west of Cheminée now, and opportunities to really impact on the leaders are going to be limited. Instead, Guillermo said their focus is on staying in the same systems as them, catching the same high-speed train of westerlies which will carry them around the Southern Oceans, rather than pushing too hard and risking boat damage. Arriving in the Indian Ocean, certainly a big relief for Guillermo. On his previous Barcelona World Race in 2007, he had to divert to Cape Town due to rudder damage on Estrella Dam, and was forced to retire without getting around Cape Agulhas.
Que también nos gustaría preguntarte qué son los rizos y para qué sirven, que nosotros en el colegio jugamos al juego del Organised.
Mira, los rizos es precisamente lo que llevamos puesto ahora nosotros. La mayor tiene 180 metros cuadrados, pero de repente cuando sube el viento, no por elevar más tela, vas más rápido, tienes que ir reduciendo. Aparte que no solo porque la velocidad disminuye, sino porque el barco empieza a intentar ir rápido, pero lo que hace es sumergirse dentro de las olas. Entonces hay que ir reduciendo tela, hay 3 rizos en la mayor, y cada rizo va reduciendo más de las unos sistemas de unos cabos atrás y otros delante, y vas bajando como haciendo unos pliegues a la mayor para reducir el trapo. Ahora precisamente vamos con 2 porque hay 35 nudos, y entonces el barco ya, si fuéramos con toda la mayor, no andaría más, sino iría por debajo del agua y andaría menos, y además los esfuerzos en el barco son muy grandes cuando vas con toda la mayor y lo romperías todo.
Guillermo also answered questions from some school pupils who've been following the race and playing the Barcelona World Race game online. You can join in at www.thegame-barcelonaworldrace.org. One of the things they wanted to know was why the skippers reefed sails in the southern oceans, and Guillermo explained that carrying extra canvas in the very strong wind conditions doesn't necessarily equate to faster boat speeds. Instead, it's more important to focus on keeping the boat balanced, especially as the skippers start to contend with the true surfing conditions that the southern oceans are famous for, and can otherwise result in boats nosediving and suddenly decelerating. Although Guillermo admits that he loves to sail fast, he said it's much more important to get the boat set up for really consistent speeds. Currently, the leaders have around 4 metres waves, with a good long wave pattern which should allow them to enjoy some typical fast-reaching conditions for the next 24 hours. The first concern for the leaders will be an area of high pressure around the Prince Edward Islands, but it currently looks as if they should remain in front of a low pressure system to keep them rolling east with around 30 knots of wind.
Aquí Fisher. Aquí tenim les vistes des de dalt al One Planet, One Ocean, a l'Atlàntic Sud.
Situation for the boats today, Monday. For the leaders, they are still close on the same course with a little less wind in this moment for Cheminée-Poujoula, from northwest 20-22 knots wind. Better condition, a little bit condition behind for Neutrogena because it's around 30 knots wind and the speed is close to 70 knots speed for the boats. The 2 boats will go close to in the north of Prince Edward. The first isle they will pass in the north of the exclusive zone. What we can say about Renault Capture is now in the 40s too. It just arrived in the 40s. So for Renault Capture, good speed anyway, and it will have a good speed to come back to try to go to the Cap de Bonne-Espérance. For the next slide, we will see that we are water here, catch a new north wind, and it could be better condition to go down also. It's much better for one ocean, one planet, because you have more pressure from northwest, 20 knots, 25 knots wind, so better condition to keep the south and to come back a little bit maybe on we are water for this moment. About Spirit of Hungary, Spirit is still in better condition too because he has a northwest coming and it's finished for him to be in the bad wind, and he can do better course to the south too with the northwest increasing.